looking around, you know, this whole deal.
It's just amazing they found hers because, I mean, she was loaded that day.
Yeah, I didn't see him digging through others.
Yeah, Laura, just a bit of time, or what do you think?
Did you guys know Flora was gonna be gone? I never heard anything. Yeah, me either.
I hadn't heard anything. Well, we'll start it. I mean, make her feel like, but it is what it is. All right, we'll start the video.
Yeah, let's do this and then we can.
Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I'll read the district mission statement. In partnership with the community, the mission of the Dilworth-Glenn School District is to educate individuals in an environment of trust and respect so they become self-directed, responsible, lifelong learners. Roll call. We've got everyone here except for Nicole and Laura at present. Also, we have Runstead here as well. Since we have no visitors, I don't think we have to worry about visitors. And agenda, any changes to the agenda?
No.
All right. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Someone.
Motion by Troy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments and rebel recognition. I guess we'll forego public comments unless Brooks got anything to say, but rebel recognition.
Just our seniors, obviously. Graduation over the weekend, so congrats to them again. And thank you to Laura and David for helping with the ceremony. That was awesome. It was fun. Yep, it was good. So that was nice. Track goes to sections in Burnett on Friday. Or they're going up Thursday night because they got to be there right away Friday morning. And Burnett's not in their backyard, so it's a little bit of a ride. Baseball plays later this week. Is it next week? Playoffs start for them.
I think plans start next week, I think.
Yeah, softball team, as we were just talking before the meeting, just lost in the section tournament today, or this afternoon. And then golf is at Town and Country in Bemidji. I don't remember, but anyway, so just a lot going on.
Good luck to all those participants.
Yeah.
And just thanks to all the staff, there's been lots of field trip days, lots of fun in the sun, track and field for all the kids. So we appreciate the last efforts on the last days of school here.
Oh, I should say, we have preschool graduation walk through the hallway tomorrow. So,
And fifth grade dare graduation
and fifth grade, yeah, that's true.
Fourth grade
Fifth
clap
grade.
out at the elementary school.
Fourth grade clap out. So there's a lot of,
Lots of stuff
lots
going
of stuff, that's right. And the dare graduation is right, that's tomorrow too.
So
All
it's
the things
tomorrow,
Tomorrow's the last day with kids. Yep.
last day.
And then workshop Thursday with
Yeah.
staff. Yep.
And thanks so much to all the staff helping turn classrooms over, get deep cleaning started, all of that busy work that happens in the summer. Lots of good work there. So thanks in advance for that.
Yeah, for sure, very true. Any other rebel recognition? All right, we'll go on to 6.1, board committee reports, budget report. I guess the budget packets in your packet. We went over the hot minutes since we had a budget meeting, but we went over some of the cuts that we've looked at in upcoming year.
I wasn't here, but that's the,
And basically, you know, one of the nice things we've been able to do is just manage cuts through attrition for the most part, and also involved in negotiations, and so we've got to balance that as well. And so we're looking at certified negotiations, confidential negotiations, so they're complete.
Confidentials are, we approve them tonight, yep.
Yeah, bus contractors, that will be upcoming. And then we talked a bit about operating referendum, and maybe more on that, and we talked about the session recap. So, thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you
Ricky.
for that. All right, any questions or discussion on budget? All right, we'll go on to negotiations. Broken record, yeah. We put a proposal together and sent it to the certified staff. Just a tough time of year to meet, so we're looking to get time to go over that, so we can sort of explain our thought process, and hopefully we can get closer to resolution on that.
And we do have a personnel committee tonight, so we can discuss more details on that as we try to finalize the schedule with them.
Personnel, budget, or negotiations are different.
Oh, they are different, I'm sorry, yeah, that's right.
That's my fault.
No, it's not your fault, that's a change, my bad. But we do have a personnel meeting tonight, and it's on the agenda.
So we sent over a response and sent over a response to them and we're waiting for something back.
Yeah, we'd like to have a meeting to discuss them and hear their thoughts and kind of explain where we're coming from. And email doesn't always capture that very well. We want to make sure it's open. Anything else, Angela, you think? All right, we'll go on to, unless anybody's got any questions or, all right, we'll go on to EM meet and confirm meet.
Troy.
We talked about that last.
We might have talked about the work session a bit, but I don't know if we've talked to that about.
Yeah, here, no, it was a really good conversation. It's really nice to have the opportunity to talk directly with the staff, and hear a great majority of it was all the really good things happening in the school, which was really nice to hear the things that they were excited about, the changes that have been implemented. A couple of things did get brought up that could be addressed, for future school years, but just in general, really good dialogue and eager to have more conversations like that in the future.
Yeah, it was good just to have the opportunity to sit down with those individuals and just have that time. So.
Any questions or discussion? Just thank those folks for taking the time to do that with us as well. All right, the DLT.
Well, I'll take the DLT. The two members of the DLT are not with us tonight, so that leaves me. We just celebrated the seniors because it was our last DLT meeting of the year. So we had a group of seniors that have been serving on that. I just think, and then we have other students too, underclassmen as well, but just the seniors in particular, I don't know if hardly one of them missed a meeting all year. It's 7 o'clock on a Thursday morning and they came home late from games and activities and who knows what. And we're always at those meetings, so I thank them for that. That was impressive. And just their input, so we spent some time talking to them and thanking them. And then just kind of recap the year. We asked the group, hey, did you like the schedule this year? Do you like our topics and how we went through it? And yeah, it was just a real good kind of a year wrap up. So, and I said, well, as long as those that are a part of it, because this was the first year for many of the parents, I said, I always like it to be a 2-year deal. And so if you want to or can make it work again next year, we'll have our first meeting in September. I'd like you to stay on. If you can't, for whatever reason, scheduling and work and whatnot, just let me know and we'll find a replacement. And then the other thing we'll do next fall is we'll find, as our juniors move up to seniors and so on, we want to find some underclassmen that can kind of fill that void. So yeah, overall it was good. Kind of a recap on this.
Sorry if I should know this, what age groups of student representation do we have?
9 through 12. Yeah, so high school, yeah.
Any other questions on DLT? All right, we're going to the work session recap. And I don't know if anybody wants to take it. Oh, I guess I can. We're given a presentation by
Todd Rapp.
Who is a communications consultant, and he talked a little bit about what work they do as it relates to operating referendum levies to help get information out there, not advocacy, just information out to the district. It's important that people understand, what they're voting on as it relates to operating referendums. Of course, we haven't decided that yet, but we definitely want to to hear that piece. They do a lot of work in the upper Midwest here, and so it was interesting to learn more about that. Then we broke down, Shannon had a presentation that he gave, sort of outlining some of the financial hardships, I guess, of the district, particularly with regard to state funding, looking at, you know, Dilworth DGF's efficiency, I guess, in terms of operations, where we are, you know, with comparison to local schools, operating levies across the state. We're one of the, I think it was 70% have operating referendum or levies. So we're sort of unique in that respect. And really good discussion on what it means for the district. You know, how did we get here? We looked at a lot of different things that have been done to date to manage our budget and important cuts that we've made, some important investments we've made in the district as well in terms of programming and curriculum and those sorts of things. Anything else anybody wants to add?
I'll just throw a couple things in. For those people that are watching that have been involved with the Dilworth Community Center, Todd Rapp, who spoke with us, did work with the city of Dilworth through that, so some people might have heard that name or remember that name from that. The second thing is I have a meeting on Monday. June 2nd is Monday, I believe. Thanks. Yeah, June 2nd is Monday. Marcus and I are meeting with business manager and superintendent of Moorhead. They have a program that we're looking at working with them. If it works really good, we might purchase it, or we might just use that, how that goes. But the efficiency, so we can say, DGF, here's our enrollment, here's our budget, and we can compare. It comes from Ehlers, who does a lot of the financing across the state, so we can pick schools our size, to kind of the question I think, Troy, that you asked. And so I did a little investigating, and Moorhead just purchased this program, and so Marcus and I are going to go over and meet with them in the afternoon on Monday, and he said we can start to punch in numbers and whatnot, and I'm sorry, schools, and we can do some comparisons and efficiency checks. So yeah, so that worked out really well. That was a nice thing that we have coming. So
That's great.
hopefully should help with some further discussion here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a really good session for the group. I mean, a lot of good input. You know, just really important things that were brought up about, you know, how's the egg community, you know, doing right now and things like that. So, I mean, it was really, I thought, a valuable work session. Do you think anybody else wants to add? All right, we'll go on to 6.2, superintendent.
Yeah, mine is fairly short. We've had enough other committee reports, but construction updates. So tomorrow morning at 6:30, the flooring company, Jay Wood, will be here to start working on our floor here. I talked to them this morning. They were going to be here today, but they were wrapping up a job at Bemidji, and so they are going to be here at 6:30 in the morning. We'll start opening up the gym floor and find out exactly how much damage is there. We know we have some. There'll be a dumpster sitting outside the southeast corner, because that door in that area right by that door too is going to have some flooring ripped out. So that process will start tomorrow. And next week, we're going to start doing the exploratory dig in the science room. So yeah, so those are, just wanted to make sure you guys know that this is getting started. The Fort Gym, as of right now, has nothing scheduled for the summer. If it ends up being done and can get opened up, great. We can maybe open up later, but we also know volleyball starts soon in August, and I think they have it scheduled for at least 6 to 8 weeks to do the work, because remember, they're gonna tear out some of the floor. They gotta replace it. They gotta sand the entire gym floor down, remark it, restain it. All of that's a process, and then put the sealer and stuff back on. So yeah, so right now we just said, let's just don't schedule anything, just so it doesn't create problems later, and then volleyball will be there.
And that, it's worth noting that's an insurance item that's.
Yes, that's all covered through insurance, and both items are, yeah. The science room too is an insurance issue. Our next meeting for mediation, I think I remember saying, or I've shared this before, is going to be August 6th with our architect. So we'll work through that, and that's kind of our construction. Yeah. We, as people walk the hallways here at this site, we have some flooring issues with the construction as well, where that glue is still oozing through. We are working to address that this summer and see what other options we may have. We like the flooring, other than where it isn't over a tunnel, the glue is fine and it's not an issue, but anyway, it's maintenance free, so we don't wax it. That's the one thing we like about it, but yeah, it's just the glue piece is not working. So that is something else we're going to address this summer in some capacity. Next item is enrollment. Our enrollment this year, as you guys know, that's been kind of our challenge with our budget is because of our enrollment. We've gotten a few back, so we're back over 1,500, but I'm sorry, I just lost my number. 1,509? 1,505. 1,505. Next year, kindergarten, we got another one today, so we're at over 100 and close to 13, 14, something like that, so that's good. So our enrollment next year too is it's actually a little bit up from this year, so. I'll say the word stable from this year's number, but this year's number is still down quite a bit, so.
When you see enrollment, is there a percentage that you typically see drop off before the school year starts?
Drop off before the school year starts,
We
like,
have 1505 today.
yeah.
Do you anticipate 1505 will be in the building on the first days?
Right now, we're projecting it's 12, yeah. Now, as you think about our seniors leaving and now our new kindergarten group coming in, which is bigger than our graduating seniors, that's how we get to 12. It's interesting. Some summers, we see a jump. And this last summer, it just kind of stayed there, and then our kindergartners, the numbers never did recover. So last year was probably the first years that I've been here where we had a decrease in the summer, or at least from the projection. We're assuming we were going to get more kindergarten than we did. Next year, well, I like our kindergarten numbers already, so that's better. Our preschool numbers are good, over 102 for next year already, which bodes well for the following years to have some consistency. So, yeah, there's a lot of movement nowadays with families. So
And that's why I ask, because that ties very closely back to negotiations, right? Some of those conversations taking place, so that's why I asked.
yeah, no, it's a good question.
Let's say down on the same lines is then do we see drop-offs in grades 1 through 11 right now? I mean, do you see that, anything like that, or is it just kindergarten is what we kind of?
Well, kindergarten's the new group,
Yep.
so it's kind of an easy one to highlight. I would say as this whole year has gone on, honestly, this is the challenging with budgeting, is we're getting the onesie twosies kind of throughout the whole year, throughout all grade levels. So we quarterly, Brooke will bring in the new quarterly Mars report, look at the whole list, and I'll look at it, gosh, we're down 6, or we're down 12. Oh, 1 in that class, 2 in this class, 1, it's like, wow. It's not like, hey, we lost a bunch of first graders, which is good that we're losing them all over, but in the end, you don't reduce staffing because they're all over, and that's what's, yeah, Brooke, wouldn't you say too, as we look at that, you and I look at that all the time, and it's always onesie twosies, kind of, in general, throughout the year, and then you'll gain, there'll be a gains, and there's
Some
some.
movements,
Yep,
come back.
you'll get some of that too.
Traveling families.
Yep, so, yeah, the one easy one is, okay, we lost how many seniors and we have how many kindergartners coming? That's kind of why we got this jump for next year. But it's not a big jump, but it's more, so, yeah. Yeah.
All right, any other questions for Shannon? Very good, we'll go on to 7.1. This is motion to approve the regular meeting on May 12th, 2025. Do I have a motion? Motion by Angela, do I have a second? Second by Troy. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we'll go on to number 8, the consent agenda. This is for approve the bills for May 2025 in the amount of
$301,800 $370.
Good. This is also approved and filed for audit the treasurer's monthly budget report, which is in the packet. Also to approve the resignation of Angela Sager, food service, effective May 9th, 2025. Approve the resignation of Anna Reisdorf, tech ed teacher, effective the end of the 2024-2025 school year. Approve the resignation of Jenna Maker, paraprofessional, effective the end of the 2024-2025 school year. Approve the resignation of Becky Donahue, special education teacher, effective the end of the 2024-2025 school year. And approve the resignation of Barb Messerschmidt, transportation, effective May 29th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion.
Brittany.
Brittany. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to new and unfinished business. Number 9.1. This is to approve the non-certified contract for Barb Rollout, paraprofessional class 2, step 10, effective the start of the 2025-2026 school year. Do I have a motion? Motion by Troy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany. Any questions or discussion?
Remember, Barb was an interventionist for us, and now she's come back in this room, so.
Right.
Yeah, it is great. Really appreciate it.
Good. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 9.2, this is to approve the non-certified contract for Kirsten Macau, paraprofessional class 2, step 1, effective the start of the 2025-2026 school year. Do I have a motion? Motion by Angela. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Micah. Any questions or discussion? This is also an intervention.
No, this is just a paraprofessional. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 9.3, this is to approve the non-certified contract for Jasmine Nora, food service, class 1, step 3, effective the start of the 2025-2026 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Troy, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Angela, I think.
That's good.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 9.4, this is to approve the certified contract for Susan Griffin, ELL teacher, BA, step 1, effective the start of the 2025-2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Brittany. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Troy. Any questions or discussion?
This is now, we have a full-time person here. We've had half-time in the past, but with our numbers, we needed to increase their time, so this is a change we had to make, so it's a full-time person.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 9.5. This is to approve the certified contract for Nicholas Gardner, middle school Fayette teacher, BA, step 2, effective at the start of the 2025-2026 school year. Do I have a motion? Motion by Micah. Do I have a second? Second by Angela. Any questions or discussion?
This is Jamie Cozen's position. Yep.
Where is he?
He was a long-term sub this year in Fergus Falls. Yep, and he's got his degree and everything, so it's good.
Yeah, great. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 9.6, this is to approve the certified contract for Nicole Kittleson, early childhood teacher, BA, step 3, effective the start of the 2025-2026 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Brittany, second by Troy. Any questions or discussion?
Yeah, our numbers are there, so we're able to bring her back, which was great. Yep, very good.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 9.7. This is to approve the 2025-2026 Minnesota State High School League resolution for membership. Since it's a resolution, I suppose we better read it. Okay. This is a resolution resolved that the governing board of the entity of Dilworth Glen Felton High School, located in the state of Minnesota, delegates the control, supervision, and regulation of interscholastic activities and athletics, referred to in Minnesota Statute Section 128C.01 to the Minnesota State High School League, and so hereby certifies that the State Commissioner of Education is provided for by Minnesota statutes. Further resolved that the school listed is authorized by this, the governing board of said school district or school, to renew its membership in the Minnesota State High School League and to participate in the approved interscholastic activities and athletics sponsored by said league and its various subdivisions. Further resolved that this governing board or entity hereby adopts the Constitution, bylaws, policies, rules, and regulations of said league, and all amendments thereto as the same as are published in the latest official handbook on file at the office of the school district or school, or as appears in the league's website as the minimum standards governing participation in said league-sponsored activities and athletics. Further, the administration and responsibilities for determining student eligibility and the supervision of such activities and athletics are assigned to the official representatives identified by this governing board. All right, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Brittany, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Angela. Any questions or discussion? Just something we do every year. All right, because it's a resolution, we'll go by roll call. Troy?
Aye.
David? Aye. Brittany?
Aye.
Micah?
Aye.
Angela?
Aye.
Resolution. On to 9.8, this is to approve the milk bid with 10 Fins Creamery for fiscal year 26. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Micah. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by
Me.
Brittany. Any questions or discussion on the milk bid?
If you remember, oh boy, 3, 4, 5 months ago, this family, so you should go online if you want to, it's a really neat story. They're from Monaga, and they supply milk to some local school districts, and Shannon Nowak and I visited about a little bit. She checked into it, and we had to go through some hoops and jumping around, but it worked out to be a good thing for us and a good thing for this family. So if you get a chance, go online. It's just a really neat story of a family that does this, and so we're very fortunate it worked out. So it's kind of nice to support another local company that supplies milk to the school.
So are we still getting, is it like the carton milk
Yeah,
or just?
yep, it's all cartoned. It's a really neat, I want to say like 5 or 6, maybe even 11, I can't remember them, I'm sorry, of public schools that use them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's comparable in price to what we were
Yep,
already doing.
yeah, oh yeah. That's why it worked out. That's, yeah, they're very cool, yeah. So again, if you have a chance to look into it, it's really neat, and yes, it is, and our farm to school grant helps obviously too, so yeah, it's kind of that whole process, so. It is really, it's neat, so, yeah.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 9.9, this is a resolution accepting donations. For the resolution.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
Let's read through it. Whereas Minnesota Statutes 123B.02 subdivision 6 provides the board may receive for the benefit of the district bequests, donations, or gifts for any proper purpose and apply the same to the proposed purpose designated. In that behalf, the board may act as trustee of any trust created for the benefit of the district or for the benefit of pupils thereof, including trusts created to provide pupils in the district with advanced education after completion of high school in the advancement of education. And whereas Minnesota Statutes 465.03 provides any city, county, school district, or town may accept, grant, or devise or real or personal property and maintain such property for the benefit of its citizens in accordance with the terms prescribed by the donor, nothing herein shall authorize such acceptance or use for religious or sectarian purposes, and whereas every such acceptance shall be by resolution of the governing body adopted by a 2/3 majority of its members, expressing such terms in full, therefore be it resolved that the school board of Dilworth Glen and Felton's Public School District, Independent School District 2164, gratefully accepts the following donations as identified below. From Casey's General Store in the amount of $112 for Rebel Pride shirts. From an anonymous donor in the amount of plants for the pollinator garden.
So this is two things.
Yes.
Two things,
Okay.
Yeah, it is,
Yep.
yeah.
Two
I was
things.
trying to read it as one sentence, because it
I
looks
was
like
very
one,
like-
and I was like, what are we getting? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Mine was confused.
Okay, got it.
Yes, yeah, two donations and,
Very nice.
from an anonymous donor from Casey's General. All right, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Brittany, do I have a second? Second by Angela by Eric. Any questions or discussion? Just like to thank the folks for donations, it's greatly appreciated and we really appreciate it. Because it's a resolution, we'll do people by roll call. Troy?
Aye.
David? Aye. Brittany?
Aye.
Micah?
Aye.
Angela? Resolution passes. On to 9.10, this is to approve the confidential contracts for fiscal year 26 through fiscal year 27. Do I have a motion? Motion by Micah, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Angela.
Is
Any
this
questions or discussion?
something that the personnel committee has seen? Or,
Well, the contracts themselves, well, the contracts themselves really don't change year to year other than dollar amounts.
Yep, and we did discuss it at the, well, I discussed it with you guys at the personnel and, did I talk, no, no, just the personnel. Yep.
Yeah, and so roughly, it's about 3%.
Yep, some a little less than 3, there was some benefit things, but, the other ones were 3. Yep. It's, so, just so you know, the confidential, it's, district office, tech guys, I'm forgetting, I got, there's 11 of us, I think, total, or not us, because I'm not in that. And then directors, Chase, Shannon Nowak, Eileen Munter, so the directors, those directors, and then the tech guys in the district office. So, yep, it was 3% pretty much across the board, with the exception of somebody that took a little more benefits, so we negotiated less salary.
so the 3% is total package salary and benefits?
Pretty much exactly that, yep, yep.
And 3% over 2 years? Or 3%?
3% for each year, so it's a 3 and 3. Yep, it's a 2-year contract, just like we do with certified and the non-certified. Yep.
Any other questions or discussion?
If you have more questions for me on that, I can always show you what I did, so, yep.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 9.11, this is to approve the non-certified contract for Donald Gas Food Service Class 1, Step 1, effective at the start of the 2025-2026 school. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Brittany, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Troy. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 9.12, this is to approve the non-certified contract for Jesse Ness, paraprofessional Class 2, Step 2, effective at the start of the 2025-2026 school year. Do I have a motion? Motion by Brittany, do I have a second? Second. Second by Micah. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 10.1, the next board meeting will be Monday, June 9th, 2025, here in the DGF Community Room at 6 p.m. Following that will be the Facilities and Transportation Committee meeting at the same site. So we'll go on to number 11. This is to adjourn the regular meeting of the DGF School Board